Hey everybody, habari zenu, como está? Guten Morgen, konnichiwa, ohoro wanyu. It is Kenyan Hippie. Welcome to another video.
This is part 2 of responding to my haters' comments.
So black fatigue, aka ghetto fatigue part 3. So I made 3 parts. The fact that I made 3 parts about ghetto fatigue should tell you guys what kind of a problem we're having in this country. Someone said, oh, no wonder freaking YouTube blocked your comment. Your username is satanic666. Hey. African culture has nothing to do with the American conservative culture. Yeah, and they're pretty much very similar. We believe in a nuclear home, father, mother, children, self-reliance, marriage. Yeah. Most of us are Christians. So they're pretty similar. Anyways, moving on. Again, my black fatigue videos, I knew they were gonna hit a nerve to some people because they exemplify what the video is talking about. So I've noticed something. Someone may say I may not know them, I may not know you, but I can read you. Again, I've been doing this for a while. Human psychology is definitely one of my, I don't want to say it's a hobby, but it is something I find very interesting, and it's very easy to read someone from the way they speak and how they present their ideas. I can tell if you're using your intellect to actually present an idea, or if you're just leaning on pride. Anything based on pride will never sound intellectual, because you cannot justify something, because everything tied to that idea is tied to your skin tone. So you feel a certain way when I say things about the black community that are uncomfortable for you because you relate with them. I don't. So when someone says some black people are ghetto, I don't catch feelings. I'm just like, yeah, you're right. If you cannot see things without attaching color to them, there's a problem. You have a problem. Be quick. He says, and he's put all in caps, so he's yelling, as a black American, Caribbean, and Africans both can kiss my... And then a lot of little things. I mean, I won't kiss your ass because it's not hygienic. Feel free to kiss your own though. This is black fatigue, the black fatigue video part 3. I'm gonna again put it up here. Nigel, someone. Again, same video. White Americans and cops treat you different because they can tell by the way you speak that you're not a foundational black American, who are the people the white people and cops have a problem with. So you're saying because I don't have a... Oh my god. Hey. You know, there's weaponizing your skin tone and there's victimizing yourself because of your skin tone, and then there's this. What is this? Okay, how do I say this slowly so you can understand? Because you guys look like you're either hard of hearing or slow to understand.
My conservative American friends who look like me have had similar positive experiences with the police in America.
Get up in my sound. It's time to give a game face.
Hello, Lieutenant Lazar, I'm Tool. Go ahead and raise it back up where you had it. Your bumper height's too tall.
Here it is, the moment you all been waiting for. You said, Joel, you get pulled over, but wait till you're doing something wrong, or wait till you're in a position where you could be arrested. And they give me all of these different scenarios where they say, hey, if this had happened, then you wouldn't have been so lucky, or you got lucky this time. I was pulled over today for having an illegal bumper height on my vehicle. He showed me with a tape measure that it was illegal. I had illegal window tint. I was improperly transporting a firearm because you are supposed to have the slide open when the firearm's being transported in the state of Ohio, because you can't, you do have to have the two-step process, but you can't have the slide closed or else it's improper transportation. He was respectful to me. I was respectful in return. I got a warning. The level of respect shown to a police officer dictates the level of respect the police officer will show towards you. I have been pulled over more times than I could count. No, this time I was not speeding. But I've been pulled over more times than I could count. I've posted the videos. And at some point, you just got to go, you know what, Joel? Maybe you're right. Maybe being respectful is a lot better than having an issue with the police and trying to argue on the side of the road. The side of the road is not a courtroom. I'm not saying every police officer is perfect, but the majority of them are out there just trying to do their job. In America, we have some of the best police officers of any country in the world, yet we constantly complain. I thank you all so much for watching. My name is Joel Patrick, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.
I hope that summarizes that experience.
So listen to this story. I got pulled over by an undercover cop today. I was speeding. Obviously, you can see my skin color. I'm black. So I'm just driving. I'm in the left lane on the highway, and then I see flashing lights behind me. My first reaction was crap. But then I was like, well, maybe he's trying to get past me. Maybe he's got something to do. I move over to the middle lane. He moves over behind me. I'm like, okay, I'm getting pulled over. I wasn't looking at my speedometer, but I was like, yeah, I was probably speeding. So now I'm in the middle lane. I'm like, okay, well, where do I get off? You know, so he can give me the ticket or do whatever he needs to do. Remember, I'm in the middle of the highway. I'm probably going 60, 65 at this point. So I'm like, okay, well, let me get over. So I get over into the right lane, and then I'm looking for a good spot. And by the time I can get, slowed down, I get off and I'm near, like, let's put it like this. I get off and right next to me is like a concrete rail so you can't, drive off the highway, right? And then there's like this much space between me and the white line that divides the, the side of the road to the highway. And I stopped there and I'm like, well, this isn't gonna be a safe spot for him to get out. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what do I do now? I'm worried if I start going again, he's gonna think I'm running. But if I sit here, this is very dangerous for him to get out of his car. So I think, okay, I roll down my window, hold my hand out, and I go like this. So then I start driving forward again. I'm worried that he's gonna think I'm trying to run, but I'm not driving fast enough to where it seems like I'm running. So anyway, I drive, get to an off-ramp, get off the highway, and park like near a Sonic in a hotel, in an open parking lot where it's safe, where he's gonna have no problems. He rolls on the window, hey, caught you going this fast and this. Do you have your license? I was like, yeah, no problem. I have my insurance closure, so do you need this? He was like, no, not right now, just give me your license. I go, okay, cool. I give him my license, no problem. He says, okay, I'll be back with you. So this is a white cop, by the way, if you're curious. So he comes back with only my license in his hand and says, hey man, I'm just gonna give you a warning, just slow down. And I was speeding, and I was curious. So I asked him, I said, hey, I'm curious, why did you just decide to give me a warning and nicely tell me to slow down? And he was like, because you've been kind and respectful to me. In addition to that, when I did pull you over, you pulled over, you realized this probably wasn't a safe spot, so you were working to try to find a safe spot for me. Him standing on the highway like that is very dangerous. He could very easily get hit by a car going 65. So he appreciated me doing that. And as a result of me being respectful in doing that, he decided to give me a warning. So many people in today's society are telling me as a black man that I'm supposed to be scared of the police. I'm not scared of the police. I have no reason to be scared of the police. The reality is, in the vast majority of cases, if you're cool with them, they'll be cool with you. We need to stop spreading this false narrative that black people need to be scared of the police. We don't.
It has nothing to do with your skin tone or your accent, or if you're an FBA. But then I'm going to be making a whole foundational Black American video. Hey, you guys will not like it. You think you're triggered now? You wait. Hey. Also, Nigel is white, so you're a white savior then. Nigel is here fighting for black people, but not me. I don't count. My life does not matter because I am a conservative African immigrant. He's fighting for the other people he thinks are victims. They cannot speak for themselves. Sir Nigel, saying something like, this girl is super arrogant, telling black Americans what to do and how to feel and who they are as people, blah, blah, blah. Black fatigue is just another term for anti-black racism that has existed since 1865. Ugh. White saviors are a different kind of racists in this country.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. And you take him for...
They genuinely feel like they're being helpful until they hear a voice, a black voice. I'm going to just say that just so it can make sense in this context. A black voice that does not agree with their rhetoric. A black voice that does not think of themselves as a victim. Then they show their racism. But the fact that you're going to infantilize black people, the black people who you're speaking on behalf of, sir, stop. Shh. It's okay. Shh. No wonder your comments were held. Damn! You got some issues. I cannot stand white saviors. In my hierarchy of racists, the worst ones are usually the blacktivists. Blacktivists include FBA, Pan-Africans, Afrocentrics, and, Democrats, dark-skinned Democrats. Number 2, following very closely behind that, are the white saviors, like yourself, Nigel. And then the third group is the mixed children of blacktivists and white saviors together. They are the worst, because they have been brought up to have both white guilt and black pride. It is such a mess. They have an identity crisis. They want to overcompensate and prove how black they are, because black is power, I'm not bringing my children up that way, thank you, Jesus, because what is that about? So they actually will spew the most racist nonsense toward me when I piss them off. And then they're like, I can't be racist because my mom is white and my daddy is black. Yeah, the racist Democrats who brought you up to think the same way. So yes, it makes sense. Like I said, y'all, I've been doing this for 5 years. I think I can call myself an expert at this point. Walt Potter. This is from my EBT Queens. I'm mad about the big beautiful bill. It's right here. And Walt said 2 comments, maybe 3. 2 comments. Girl, you look like a certified fool. Okay, Walt. You're so lost. You have a beef with black Americans, so you make videos about black people on welfare. But what you don't know is that the majority of people on welfare are white people. No. So I wasn't the best at math, but let's work out the mathematics, okay? Take the number of black people in America and take the number of black people in America on welfare and do the percentage. And then take the number of white people in America and the number of white people in America on welfare, and then do the percentages, and you will see that the higher percentage are those who look like me. Also, it's not a competition. All of you go to work. If you watched my video and actually paid any attention, which looks like you didn't, I said welfare queens come in all sizes and skin tones. The fact that you are still triggered after all that, I can't help if you cannot comprehend anything. That's not my fault. Might be a genetic issue. The ABT Queen's a big beautiful bill. Like I said, it was going to trigger people, so Wine and Roses says, you might want to make sure you don't get deported with that accent you have. The U is in caps because emphasis. The fact that you listened to my accent and you decided it deemed me deportable shows your xenophobia. This is what the word is spelled like, xenophobia. And xenophobia is a form of racism. My husband begs to differ. For me, it is a form of racism. This is not the first time I've had a chocolate American Democrat or liberal chocolate American tell me I'm going to get deported because we disagree on values and ideologies. It started back in 2020. At the time, I didn't realize what was going on. I could have sworn, because I was told America is so racist, right? So I was like, it is? Only to realize black Americans were the most racist ones. I was like, what is happening right now? I thought you guys are supposed to be my people. Are you not my people? Why are you telling me I should go back home to Kenya? Also, a question for you, Wine and Roses. So just to get this straight, you liberals are against deportation of illegals, right? Right. But then you're okay if a legal immigrant was to get deported, right? Okay. And then you also think that I'm somehow eligible for deportation. Why would that be so? Because I didn't come here fraudulently and I did not commit a crime, right? And I'm a citizen. So what is that about? Did you think through this comment when you wrote it? Or were you so mad? You're just like, oh my God, I hate her. Get deported, you bitch. You Kenyan coon. Get deported. Anyways, calm down, Wine and Roses. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sorry. You can block me if my face annoys you. I would highly suggest that, because I'm just gonna keep bugging you. My presence is going to keep bothering your demons. So go ahead and block me. This one was a funny one from Prince P. Kenyan Candice Owens with 3 Ks. And they're trying to insinuate the KKK. Is that you? Yes, it's me. It's I. LMAO, you ain't fooling no one. You got all her talking points. You quote Thomas Sowell like the Bible and even married white conservative guy. Laughing emoji. Be original at least. I already pointed this out in a comment, but I said you should try being original because I've been called Candice Owens for a very long time since I joined TikTok. It actually turned me on to her. So I actually follow her and I adore her. Even if some people think she's going off the rails, I still adore her. I like crazy people. There's a video here about how I met her. Feel free to watch it before you block me. Her name is spelled with an A, not an I. So if you're gonna spell Candice, at least put an A to be more precise, right? Next, you ain't fooling no one. I already mentioned this in a comment, but I told you that stop speaking in double negatives. This is a problem discussed and highlighted in some of my videos. This is why I don't like AAVE and Ebonics. It interferes with your ability to speak properly and articulately because you don't know what's what. You say things like axe instead of ask. You say things like you ain't fooling no one. The correct way to say that is you're not fooling anyone or you aren't fooling anyone. Okay, contraction. You got all her talking points. You've, you, Y-O-U apostrophe V-E, got all her talking points. Okay, that would be nice. I appreciate you using commas. Thomas Sowell, like the Bible. Yeah, I love Thomas Sowell. I love Larry Elder. Love Ben Carson. Love Candice Owens. I like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, but we don't agree on everything, you know. And then, of course, you finished with married a white conservative guy. And a little fun fact for you. I met my husband when I was already a conservative. That's actually how we met. We met on conservative TikTok. Okay. We are both former liberals. We're both on the liberal side of things. We are still in some ways socially liberal. Like I said, we agree that gay people should get married. However, we're very fiscally conservative. Maybe like Trump. Like how the way Trump is, we are more or less in line with him. Last but not least, the fact that what you pointed out was my husband's skin tone, and that's the first thing you saw, and you thought that that somehow reflected upon my opinions, shows your own racism. And why is that? Why don't you keep that same energy when it comes to Kamala Harris? The number of Kamala Harris supporters who were in my comment section last year because doing the MAGA campaigns. I'm even in the Trump campaign ad. Feel free to watch it here. Oh, your husband is white. I'm like, and Kamala's husband is what? Last I checked. Right. But it's not a problem when she does it, right? Right. Hypocrites. Editing Kenyan Hippie here, and there's this segment I decided to tap in with my other fellow creator. He's amazing. He and I actually met on TikTok, fighting the hypocrisy of the left. He will be discussing this victimhood mentality of the chocolate Americans who are triggered by my content and who are triggered by successful Africans and who don't understand the fact that it's a cultural thing, not a skin tone thing. Also calling out the antithesis in your arguments. So give him a round of applause.
As a Black American, I have worked in corporate America alongside Black folks who were born in Africa and the Caribbean. Those born in Africa and the Caribbean were always chosen to rise to a higher position before Black folks who were born in America. You don't realize that you have the advantage eternally and internally. White folks choose those who don't have family memory of being enslaved because they feel threatened by the fact that we are not docile and we insist on fairness on the job. I have noticed that immigrants in general put up with a lot of unfairness on the job. That type of docility is usually based in a lack of knowledge of how systems are so to work for everyone equally. All right, well, there's a lot more to this, but I'm going to pause here for a second. First of all, it's clear this is feeling-based. This is your opinion. The claim of not being docile due to you having knowledge of how these systems work is also you being emotional on the job based on theories that you have. It's pretty clear that you are not holding any accountability for how you present yourself at the job, bringing your emotional state, claiming it's the system or the corporate's fault for not accepting that. I also, as a business owner, would not hire somebody who is very emotional and going to be on edge all the time either. Why would I want to give somebody like that higher positions? They represent me and the business, and I need the business to look good to make money. So you and all my other employees can get paid. This also proves that it's not racial, because those businesses had no problems giving black people higher positions. So it wasn't due to the color of their skin, it was due to who they were and how they acted. Now to continue. Yes, being the descendants of slaves in America includes growing up in families with many internal and psychological scars. Those scars creates generation of frightened people. We have always lived in someone else's home. Each time we have tried to build something that would secure our roots here as home, we have been stripped. I suggest you learn the complete history of our life in this country, and then you can understand the internal fortitude that it is needed to sustain the continuous fight for parity in the country that our ancestors were fundamentally responsible for building. One or two black people rising to a status is not a community of success. It's one lone person standing on a lonely island of insecurity with no backup. I don't care what your religious background is, what your race is, your gender, or your ideology. Where you are born and raised is home. If you don't feel like this is home, that's because you were taught not to feel like this is home. In fact, all of the internal and psychological scars that you said you have for being a descendant of slaves is self-taught. It's homemade. You have zero memory, recollection, or anything beyond the day that you were born. Everything else that is instilled in your head was instilled there by somebody else before you. So if you have struggle based on family history or ancestry, that's because your family put it there. You were raised 100% without any knowledge of your ancestry. You wouldn't be able to claim that you have some kind of psychological or internal scars because of it. The only reason why you make the claims that you do is because somebody put it there. You asking my wife to learn the complete history of your ancestors is only showing that you're using it to make excuses and have a lack of accountability. You are not your ancestors. You are you and you alone. None of your actions today can be tied to somebody who lived before you, that you've never met from a time that you didn't live. Now you say that the one or two people that stand alone on an island of insecurity with no backup, but the truth is, you're the insecure one. You're the one that requires an identity. People that are secure in themselves don't need an identity. They don't care how other people think of them. Secure people don't need to hold pride in their skin tone. Pride is a sign of insecurity. Pride is the consciousness of your dignity, and your dignity is the amount of respect or validation that you require from other people. When you love yourself, you don't require validation from anybody else. For example, if somebody called you a derogatory term, if you loved yourself, you wouldn't hold any value in what they thought because you don't need their validation. You wouldn't get offended by it. Only when you are prideful, which is a sign of insecurity, do you get offended and try to react on it. Pride is your culture. That is your downfall. Your parents are teaching you to be prideful due to these insecurities that they instill in your head. In fact, that is the only true generational trauma that you pass down. Telling your children to hold pride in something that they can't control, like the color of their skin, then telling them that because of the color of their skin that they're going to be oppressed and held back and that other people are going to be put ahead of them is only going to make them want to hate that part of themselves, but it's a part of them that they can't change. And now they're stuck. So they go through an identity crisis. Wish they could change things, but they can't. Now they're really insecure. They don't have any confidence. There's no way out unless they can convince themselves that they're wrong. This is what we call a superiority complex, where deep down inside you feel inferior about something, so you try to convince yourself that that part of you is actually superior. This is where overconfidence comes from. To be loud and proud. I'm going to show the whole world that you can be successful as a black man. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get money, so that way I can show everybody that I'm successful. I'm going to take that money and not invest it, but buy things that make me look successful. I'm going to sleep with every woman that I possibly can to show that everybody wants me. I need to make sure that the whole world knows it's because of my blackness. And if anything makes me feel like my blackness is being attacked in any way, even if it's not, but I feel like it is, I'm not going to let that fly. Because my blackness is everything. It's my entire identity. Of course, I need to only surround myself with other people who feel the exact same way. Because I don't realize that those who need to be empowered only need to be empowered because they're weak. Strong people don't need to feel strong. Weak people do. And because I'm weak and need to be empowered, I need to be surrounded by everybody else who also needs empowerment so we can validate each other. This is the exact same scenario in every pride group, whether it's the LGBTQ or even the KKK. Needing that validation is a drug, because no matter how deep you get and no matter how many people validate, you still don't feel like it's enough. You still have that insecurity. The only way that you're going to fix it is if the whole world changes their views to match yours. I hate to break it to you, but that still wouldn't be enough, because it's not a world problem, it's a you problem. You don't love yourself. Then the black people that don't hold pride in their skin tone or don't anymore, you attack them. You need them to think just like you. And because they don't hold that pride or care about their skin color and could care less if anybody looks at them as black, you say they don't love themselves or that they are just a pawn to white men. You see, pride is harmless until it's in the spirit of competition. Having pride in things like your education or your skill set or your hygiene or your organization skills, that creates competition against yourself. You want to keep improving. So when you are pro-black and have black pride, you create a value of race that you're going to hold against other races, which creates competition. That is why when you're pro-woman, you become very anti-men. When you're pro-black, you become very anti-white. When you're pro-white, you become very anti-black. Because pride is rooted in insecurity, lack of confidence, lack of self-love. And those that you created as competition because of your pride are who you blame for that, which definitely would hold them back. So no, sir, we don't need to read about your history to understand you. You either take accountability for your actions or you don't. And the world will accommodate that. They will treat you differently and respect you more if you take accountability. And they definitely will not respect you or want to give you a powerful position if you blame them for something they didn't do. Just some friendly advice. Take it or leave it.
A little segment where we essentially poke fun at stupid comments because they have no intellectual capacity, so you can't take them seriously. This is, again, we've been doing this for 5 years, guys. Your comments, your little snide comments and passive-aggressive comments, I've been dealing with that. We've been dealing with that for a very long time on TikTok. So it's just the same energy, but on YouTube. It's why it doesn't really get to us. Plus, we don't hold pride in our skin tone. We don't believe in black pride or white pride or gay pride or whatever pride it is. This is just a funny response to those, again, stupid comments. Stupid comment, stupid response. Smart comment, smart response. You catch the drift.
All right, well, it's time for another episode of The Triggered and the Restless, where I respond to brain-dead comments under my wife's videos. Well, she has a zaddy, and I'm sure you worship whites, too. I don't know what a zaddy is, I'll have to look that up. A sexually attractive man, especially an older one who is fashionable or charismatic. Wow, well, thanks for the compliment, Greg. But yeah, she worships white so much that in her merch store, her top-selling shirt is, "I'm not a color." I was about to take you serious until I saw your husband. Oh, what the hell did I do? I've been told I'm a zaddy. Anyways, when things go sour, we will be waiting for you on the other side of black struggle. And the other side of black struggle would be no struggle. See, you agree with my wife and you didn't even know it. It's like listening to a white mega speaking. Hey, you're colorblind too. You go explain tire. A comment so simplified a caveman could write it. Like circle stone, but made of rubber, and roll downhill. Just like Trump's book that I bought and couldn't go beyond the first chapter is the same way I've had to stop watching this. You know what? I completely understand. My daughter has the exact same problem when it comes to reading and watching videos. She's 3. Well, alright, hopefully the haters keep commenting and I'll keep making these videos because they are way too much fun. Just remember, you could be blessed or oppressed. The choice is yours. Which is also in our merch store.
I'm a conservative. Of course I'm Republican. I'm a conservative woman. Of course I'm a Candace Owens wannabe. I'm a dark-skinned conservative woman. Of course I'm married to a white man. I'm a dark-skinned conservative woman. Of course I'm whitewashed. I'm a dark-skinned conservative. Of course I refuse to identify myself by my skin tone, which apparently also means I hate myself. I'm a dark-skinned woman who's educated. Of course I speak white. I'm a dark-skinned immigrant and conservative. Of course I'm a queen. And I need to be hospitalized and taught how to be black.
I'm going to open up a hospital for mentally ill Africans. I'm going to hospitalize you coons.
Anyways, that is all for today. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. Okay? Like, subscribe, share, and comment because it boosts my algorithm. Make sure you leave a comment somewhere so you can engage. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hit the notification bell for me, please. Also, I love y'all. Kenyan Hippie out.